Alright, so I am back, and today we're going to take a look at the Voodoo Toys. Let's see, what do they call them? Potion Series Salus. They're Ratchet. So here's the artwork on the box. Looks pretty good. Here, there's some line work. Looks like a little potion thing. More artwork. Potion thing. And we got product shots. Awesome. Says the first in this potion series is Salus, which it's not, because the other black Diaclone Ironhide came out first. But he also comes with instructions and a collector's card, which I cannot find at the moment. Well, say Livy. Moving on. So here we got we got Ratchet in his robot mode, and he's pretty good. So open this up here. He comes with this gun as well. So he's got two different guns. You got the gun thing. I think this was the G1 gun, I think. And you can just plug it in, same way you would plug in every other gun. Masterpiece gun just slots into the sides. There's just the slot right there. You can just plug the gun in. He's got this gun too, which is two pieces of plastic screwed together. You can see the screws. I still kind of wish it was just one solid piece as opposed to two pieces, but it is what it is. As you can see, as Skullface would say, not a lick of paint on the gun. This one's all nice painted silver. Looks good. Then you close the hands around the handle. Plug it in. And there you go. Gun's pretty good. I like them. So I did look at the black one a while ago. And, you know, I had my issues with it. You know, I said, you know, the company is definitely, you know, going to be somebody to watch. And it's not quite up there yet. The rumor is, from what I've heard, I don't know how true this is that they switched factories somewhere along the lines. A lot of people are saying the plastic quality is infinitely better on this one than it is on the other one. I haven't held the other one in a long time, because that wasn't mine. I just reviewed it and sent it off to the dude. I could say it is better. I don't think it's like worlds apart better, but it definitely is better. Feels nice. I got a problem with this panel right here. Not quite tabbing in all the way, but it doesn't bug me too much. It's just kind of noticeable a little bit when you really look at it. But yeah, pretty good. I'm pretty satisfied. You can see they painted over the window on the back. So there's the paint, and so this is all darkened. You can still see through it, but it's not quite like gaping hole syndrome. So yeah, all in all, it's a pretty nice figure. I mean, transformation is the same aside from one little piece, and we'll get into that later. And it's one of those, it's like the original mold didn't need to do something, but this one does, and that's why the original one does. And that's this piece right here folds up during transformation. You have to fold this up to get it to fit right. And yeah, it's one of those like, okay, I could see it. You know, I get it. For the transformation, now it makes sense why the other one does it. But you see the seam here when you have it clicked in is pretty. I mean, you can see it, but it's not very noticeable though. It doesn't stick out like a sore thumb. Face sculpt could have been a little bit better, but at the same time, I think it does a pretty good job. Eyes painted great. The let's see here. You know, obviously I stuck an Autobot logo on them because this is probably going to end up being my Ratchet. And if not, I'll sell it and somebody will have an Autobot logo already applied. So it's got a ball joint on the head. So it gets left, right, up, down. It's also on a hinge, so you can get a little bit more down if you need to, but it breaks up the sculpt. Shoulders, nice ratchets up and down. Ratchets in and out. Ratchet has ratchets. Oh, I'm so funny. Bicep swivel. It's got a bend right up here and then another bend at the elbow. So while this looks a little wonky, you know, this looks kind of natural, but with the two, you can get a pretty natural looking bend in the arm. So that's really nice. I like that. Hand swivels. Gets a little caught up on this back piece and other things going on. So you kind of just get a little bit left and right there. Thumb is on a ball joint, which is okay-ish. I'm not a fan of the ball joints, but you know, whatever. Pin for the bottom three fingers, and then the pointer finger is on two separate pins. So you got the base knuckle and then higher knuckle. So it works pretty well. I like it. And I like the fact that they're pinned in and they're not just friction joints. Thumb's giving me a little bit of trouble here. There we go. Alright. The waist swivel, just a swivel joint. Nothing really spectacular there, but it does rotate all the way around, so no issues whatsoever. It's very smooth, actually. You can flip this joint here out of the way, and the legs will ratchet all the way out to there, so you get a good pose or good range there. It is on a softer ratchet, harder ratchet going forward. That's all the way back to there, so not much back, but at the same time you don't really need it to go back. Nice ratchets on the knee. Ratchet thighs or shin swivel, I guess. There is a bit of a swivel at the thigh as well, not much. And then the foot has a ratchet back and forth. As you can see, the sculpt kind of breaks up depending on how you're doing it. And then there's the swivel, or the ankle tilt. So, putting this all back together real quick. That is one issue with this figure still, is the fact that because there's so many things going on with the shins due to the transformation, that it does definitely get a little funky there. Alright. Transformation. Still a bear. So first thing we want to do is pull this piece here back. Get that out of the way and then rotate it around. So get that back there. This piece here will come up. Pull this piece out. Out like that. Just kind of keep that back there for a minute. And then let's flip this open. Close the hands up. That. Close it up. Just like that. Alright. Then we want to pull this section here down like this. Gonna get this down out of the way. Head will rotate around, and then what you want to do when it's down here is you flip the visor up like this. Kind of get that out of the way. And then this will, let's see here, how do we do this? These will come together like this. But you want to get this pull between the two first. Let's try open that up. Flip this out all the way like that. So up, all the way out. Let's try and get this into position here. As you can see, it's still got that transformation that's not awesome. Not awesome at all. Let's rotate this all the way up. There we go. And this will come back. Those will tab together. Then you can rotate this back like this. Pull these panels out a little bit if they're not already. Tab these in. Just like that. All right. Go, and then these panels here will come down, and this is the part that always irritates me. There's this little tab right here that will plug in the slot right there. So you want to kind of like bend the plastic a little bit to get it in there, and that is very troublesome. Same thing on this side. Alright, sounds like the dog found somebody to mess with. Alright, and then you hinge this tire down like this, and like this. Alright, now we got to deal with the legs. The legs are a whole different world of crazy. So you want to pull this panel here out, up. This one comes up like this. This will rotate down. This comes up. And you can close that up like that. And then you want to take this piece here and it will rotate up, around, flip the window up, and then it slides back just like that. And then this will rotate in, and then there's all sorts of little tabs you got to tab up together to make this all sit flush. But you just kind of keep pushing on it and it will go into place. Foot will then rotate around. Rotate the toe all the way around. This will rotate like this. And then this collapses in here. And again, there's a bunch of little tabs. You just kind of line those up. Tab it in. Just like that. It's complicated. It's irritating. But it's not terrible. Same thing over here. So you want to up, pull this out, put this up, all the way, close that up. This will come around like this, flip up the window, rotate it around, slide it back. And then all these little tabs, tab in, rotate that foot around. Oh, rotate this wheel out, that might help. Just like so. rotate all the way in, and then you just line up all the tabs best you can. Now you're just kind of playing cleanup. And there you go. For the most part, that's his van mode. I know that's... It's one of those ones, like, you have to have it in hand and start actually fiddling with those tabs to see how they all fit together. I think this can store somewhere under here, but I'm not sure where. Yeah, I don't know. And I'm not going to spend all the time figuring it out. But I think it can store under here. Like this. But don't quote me on that. Roll's great. Like I said, things... lots of little tabs. I'm not a huge fan of all those little tabs. I never have been, never will be. But it is what it is because that's how they designed the figure. All in all, it looks good. It does its part as old school looking van. Compresses really well. As you can see, I mean, he just doesn't look so big here. And then once we get back in the bot mode, he it's a lot bigger. So yeah, he's really nice. I like it. Plastic feels good. There's a couple spots here though where it's like this is painted over and this is the plastic. You can see a little bit of a different paint there, or a little different color there. It's a little bothersome, but not terrible. Also, there's these little tabs here that plug in and fill in the little holes the figure has. Irritates me when a company does that. I like having the ability to plug it in and close it up and whatnot, but just the sheer fact that I have to do it and they couldn't do it on their own, and you could still see where they were. It's not like it's perfect, especially like these ones here. Yeah, it kind of bugs me. They could have done that themselves, or something. Put it in there and then maybe like did a quick paint over all the white plastic, and then that way everything matches. I think that would have been very beneficial. Very nice. It would have been a very nice touch. But whatever. And then also, when you're looking at the tabs, you need to really look at those tabs because it comes with an instruction booklet on where to put them. And those numbers on the back of the tabs, I already did it. So if I get the Ratchet, I'll show it off. But their tabs the numbers are so tiny, so very tiny that I barely saw them. So you got to make sure you're putting them in the right spots because some of them are angled just like these ones. They're cut just so that they can fill in this spot and stick with that groove. So it's like if you put the wrong one in there, it's not going to look right. So anyway, all right, let's go back into bot mode and do some size comparisons, shall we? So we want to split the legs. Pull those panels out, split them out like this. Then you can rotate the legs down, rotate this around. This heel spur will go back. Foot rotates around, like so. And then you rotate this piece here out. This will flip down. That. Rotate the tire in. This little piece here will go to slide the window down. Then you rotate this around and then back here like so. And then you rotate this piece here in like this. Fold the window in, and then this will come in like this. And then there's a tab here that'll plug into a slot that's inside the leg right there. So once you get it all right, you tab that in. And then this side will tab in, just like that, and then you can rotate that around. And there's the leg. I like how this all closes up when it's done. I wish it would be a little bit tighter on those tabs just to get them to stay more secure. But it does look nice. I like the way that looks. Alright, so again, you want to rotate tire in, slide the window up, rotate this section around, flip the window in. This comes all the way down and then back up like this. And then you want to take this piece here, flip this panel here out, rotate this all the way down, and then tab here, plug into a slot there. This is the one that gives me a little trouble and doesn't quite go in right. Then this piece here will fold down, and then there are a tab here, plugs into a slot here, and then a tab here that'll plug into a slot right there. So this all just comes down. That all tabs in just fine. This one, not quite so much, and then this will just rotate over like that. And there you go. There is the legs done. That's the big part. Then you take the arms here, you fold these down like this, get those out of the way. Then you want to take this assembly here, untabs from each other, and then you got to pull it down, and then this kind of has to get pulled out to the side to get that piece here out from behind this mirror. I might try and just trim that piece off because I'm more concerned about bending the plastic back to get it out of the way than I am of it sitting completely flush right there. But that's me. So you gotta pull that out like that. Rotate the arms, or untab the arms, and then you can rotate them out. And then this back piece will come out like this. And then we can flip the head up. You gotta open this up a little bit, flip that crest back in, and then fold the head out. Like that. And then I like to take the chest piece here, fold it down, and then there's two tabs here and here, and then you can tab those behind this assembly here. This pretty much kills the ab crunch that they're so proud of, but it looks better. If you keep it out like this, it will have an ab crunch, but this hinge here isn't very tight, so it doesn't feel good to me to leave it like that. It just doesn't feel right. All right, now this nightmare. So we want to rotate the backpack around like so. Take the tire here and you fold this down, and then there's another hinge that you fold this up on like that. Rotate this in. There is a little T-shaped tab there that'll tab into this little slot right there. So you rotate that in. Like so. This will rotate up. Now what? that up. Tab that in, fold this back, so rotate up. These will fold back and just kind of sit. These pieces here just fold over there like that, just kind of sit there. Then you want to fold these panels here in. This piece here will rotate down, and there you have your backpack all collapsed and put together properly, for the most part. And then you take this, and it rotates up. And then there's this hinge right in here. You just kind of want to get that into the right spot. You know, somebody was telling me that this thing is spring-loaded, but I don't see any springs on this. When I reviewed the first one, they're saying, "Oh well, it's spring-loaded. It's supposed to just spring into place." I don't see any springs in here at all. So I don't know what they're talking about. But anyway, so you fold this all the way up. Why is this not sitting right? What is wrong here? Let me see here. Okay. Oh, because I didn't do the tire here. Alright, so fold the tire all the way out. There we go. That should do it. There we go. That's better. Alright. So anyway, you rotate this up. Put that piece there down. It all sits pretty nice, flush. Fold the head back. There you go. Open the panel up. Flip out the hands. The hands. Close that. Alright, so all in all, there you go. Transformation is challenging. Not what I would consider to be a blast by any means. It's not refreshing. It's too challenging for what it's trying to do, and then you get things like this tab that doesn't quite tab in all the way. You know, maybe I got something wrong up somewhere, but I can't get that in all the way. I mean, you can see it's staying in place. There's no problem there. It's just not quite flush. This back piece doesn't. I mean, it's holding okay. I mean, you can see it kind of like folds out, but if you hold it like that, I mean, it holds pretty good. If you hold it just by the base, then it unhinges at the top. But if you put your finger right here, you can balance it right there. I mean, that's pretty good. I have to say. But yeah, I don't see any springs that will pull that into place. It doesn't feel very secure, even though you can see that I was able to shake it upside down. It still just doesn't feel secure. So I guess that's the difference between being secure and feeling secure. But yeah, it's a good figure. I like the overall aesthetics, the look of the figure. I think it looks the part of Ratchet. So let's get some size comparisons out of the way. I know we've already looked at size comparisons with this mold before, but do it again. Here he is with the NP car, and here he is with Prime. Now, I've heard a lot of people say that they think that MP cars are too small. And if you take him out of the picture and just line him up, I think that looks good, but at the same time, I can see what they're saying. They're pretty small in comparison to Prime. But what I think they're missing is that little bit of a Segway figure. That bigger, kind of like Second Command style sized, the bigger bots. I think this makes it look a little bit more acceptable because now you've got, your big bot, your, hierarchy, and then you got your troopers. So, it's tiered a little bit better. That's what I say. That's my opinion, and I'm sticking to it. Because I think that looks pretty good. Real quick, we're going to get into this more later this week. As soon as I get the MP Ironhide and the TFC Ironhide. But here he is with Aegir's Ironhide. So, depending on where you want your Ironhide to be, if you want him a little bit bigger than Cars, you've got an option. If you want him still a little bit bigger, a little bit shorter than Prime, you got options. So we got plenty of options coming. So we'll be doing a 4-way war later this week. We got the Voodoo Ratchet, Aegir Ironhide, TFC Ironhide, and MP Ironhide. We'll be looking at all 4 of them and seeing what the better option is. As far as this figure goes, though, I think he's good. I like him a lot. He's got his flaws. Panel forming is annoying, especially with all these little tabs. Backpack doesn't feel secure, although you guys saw it is. The transformation is not... It's not like, oh my god, this is a nightmare, like the feet transformation on Scourge, or so intimidating that I'm not going to do it on screen, like, say, Apollyon. This figure is pretty, it's not quite there, but it's not quite like Sideswipe here. But at the same time, the Aegir one has its faults too when it comes to the transformation. So, all in all, I'm going to give him a 9 out of 10. I think it's a good figure. I do recommend it. For me, I'm probably going to go with the MP Ironhide just because it's an MP. But I'll probably be keeping this as my Ratchet. That way I have 2 in different molds. I think that's going to be great. I haven't seen the TFC one. I'm not holding my breath on that one. Aegir one is out for me. This is not, the size is not my cup of tea. But excuse me. But for Ratchet, I think this figure does its job and does it really well. I'm very happy with it. I am actually doing a giveaway for this figure, so if you're interested in it, I'll put the link below. I'm also doing the Unite Warriors Defense Sword too. But yeah, I think, what did I say, 9 out of 10? 8 out of 10? We'll do 8 out of 10. 8 out of 10 is the score. The transformation could be better, and the maybe just a little bit tighter on some of the joints. But even that, some of them, I don't know. Like some of them feel a little off, but once you start messing with it, you can manipulate it in ways, and then it holds its pose. So really, the transformation is really the only downer because of those tabs. And that's what part of this is. That not tabbing in all the way. That's transformation issue. So yeah, transformation is really the only thing. So I'm gonna give it an 8 out of 10. Really nice figure. I really like it. I'm very happy I bought him. That is my Ratchet. That's going to be my Ratchet. Plain and simple. Unless the masterpiece blows me out of the water and I'm like, oh my god, this thing is gorgeous and all that stuff. As it sits, this is my Ratchet because I'm thoroughly impressed with it. Like I said, the plastic quality, I know I keep rambling, but the plastic quality, a lot of people are saying is so much better than the original version. I don't see that as much as just more or less, I'm more used to the figure now. Because the second time I messed with it, they covered up this spot back here that was making him look really super hollow. And it's a character I'm more familiar with. You know, Diaclone Black Ironhide. That's not a character I know of. It's not my like. Oh man, that's my Ironhide. I remember that as a kid. I might say fuck it and get the Ironhide version of this mold. I really like this figure. It's $120. I think it's a $100 figure, but it's an acceptable. It's 120 is an acceptable cost for it. But yeah, there you go. I really look forward to see what they do next. After they do Ironhide, I think this is going to be good. Let's try one thing real quick. Yeah, see, with the chest piece tabbed in, he does not have much of an ab crunch. You can get that much out of it. If you untab it, then things start coming undone, but you do have that ab crunch there, and then it does not look right. Like I said in the original video, you know, they were talking about it like, oh yeah, we got an ab crunch on our Ratchet, and it's like, I don't think they meant to do that. I think it was a happy accident, which is fine. Happy accidents happen, and great, but for me, I'm leaving it like that. I don't need an ab crunch for most of my Transformers. I just don't. Anyway, there you go. Voodoo's Ratchet.